Planters are a perfect woodworking project no matter what your skill level. So I built 3 levels: beginner, intermediate and pro. Each one starts with basic affordable materials, but the upgrades and techniques take them in very different directions. In this video, I'll walk you through each build, show you the progression and show you what you can achieve using different techniques with the same basic materials. We'll start with the most basic version, which can be made by pretty much anyone with not much more than a saw and a drill. For each of these planters, I'm going to be using scaffolding boards. A nice, simple, chunky material available to most people fairly readily. Each planter will develop in look, tools and technique, and each one will last longer than the last. If you're just starting out, even a simple handsaw will do the job, but a circular saw or a miter saw will make it quicker and easier. I'm making a very simple butt joint box with a solid base. To help with drainage, I'm drilling some holes into the base. The 4 sides of the box simply glue and screw together with the base slotted in and attached. It's up to you how far you take this simplest of builds. I'm just giving it a quick hand sand to remove any splintery bits and adding some plastic feet to raise it off the ground. All that's left to do is put some weave fabric in to stop the soil coming out of the holes, and then this one is done. Couldn't be much simpler than this. This version gives you a simple rustic look and will last you a good few years. Let's step it up a level now and build one a bit more advanced, but still really accessible. The main box is cut and assembled in the same way as the beginner version, but with this one, we're hiding those butt joints and elevating it off the ground with some simple legs. I ripped scaffolding boards on the table saw to make these pieces, but you could use alternative timber if you don't have one. The legs get attached to hide the box joins, and for all of these builds I'm using deck screws, which are for exterior use. To level this one up some more, I'm going to add a top trim. This gives it a nice chunky look using more of the ripped boards. Before these can get fitted, I add weed fabric to the bottom for drainage and plastic lining to the sides to protect the wood from the wet soil. You could miter this top frame, but I wanted to keep this one fairly basic still, so I'm using some staggered butt joints just to give it a little bit of interest. I'm just hand sanding the boards because they were brand new and in good condition, but if you've got an orbital sander you could use it here to get a more polished look. To protect the timber, I'm giving this one 3 coats of Cuprinol Dux Back paint. To further protect it, I would advise painting the inside faces too and adding the same plastic feet as the beginner one. I think for a beginner friendly build, this one actually looks really decent. Plus you can knock it up in an afternoon fairly easily. It should last you around 5 years, or even more with a little bit of maintenance. Right, onto the pro one now. If you were doing a really pro build, you'd be looking at using some long lasting hardwood, but I wanted to show the techniques using similar materials to the other two. In the first two projects, the butt joints were actually quite hard to do because the boards weren't square and true. So to really level things up, I'm milling each board by flattening one side on the planer and then squaring one edge along the fence. I can then thickness the board to my desired spec and then finish off by ripping them to size on the table saw. For this version, I'm making a mesh base that allows for freer drainage and avoids using a wooden base that can rot. I'm using galvanised mesh wrapped in weed fabric for the base, which shouldn't rust and will allow the water to drain while still holding in the soil. To house this, I'm adding a rebate on each side of the box to take this. Whilst I had the router table in action, I added some visual interest to each board by routing a V-groove along the side to give it a look of 3 boards rather than 1. The box is assembled with glue and screws and the base slots in before the final side is attached. To add strength and to hold the weight of the soil, I'm attaching some galvanised straps to stop the base dipping over time. For this one, I'm going to be making legs that join together in a mitered corner and then taper down from the top to the bottom for some visual interest. I cut and sand all of the pieces and then pre-drilled the screw holes. I'm going to be plugging these holes, so I used a 16mm drill bit. This would have been even better if it was a Forstner bit, but I didn't have one small enough. The mitered corners get glued up, taped in place and left to dry. For the plugs, I have a little scrap of walnut that I'm plug cutting on the drill press. These will give a nice contrast against the lighter softwood. For the top trim of this one, I'm using some treated timber to add a little bit more protection to the face that will get most of the weathering. I mill this up in the same way as I did the scaffolding boards and then cut this at 45 degrees to make miter joints. I give the main box a good sand with the orbital sander before attaching the legs to each corner. The plugs get glued and knocked into place, and whilst they're drying I can attach the plastic lining that will protect the inside timber from the damp soil. The trim gets glued and brad nailed onto the top with the plastic lining tucking under to neatly finish it. It then gets a round over added using the palm router and a sand in ready for finish. Unfortunately, when I cut these boards, one of the corners had a small knot in it and it broke away during assembly, so if you spotted that little gap on the corner, that's why. Rather than cutting the plugs with a flush trim saw, I decided to use my router, as the flush trim saw can easily mark softwoods. All that was left was finishing. I gave it 3 coats of oil to penetrate the wood. And then use my beeswax oil finish to add a protective top layer to the planter. The final step is just to add some feet to elevate the wood from the ground, and that is the Pro Level 1 finished. I think this one looks great, especially for a softwood planter. With a mesh base, plastic lining and annual oil top-ups, there's no reason that this one shouldn't last 10 or more years. So that's 3 planters: beginner, intermediate and pro. Each one started with the same basic materials, but by stepping up the techniques and the finishes, the durability and the look changed massively. If you want to see another build project, check out this bench I recently made. It's another great beginner friendly option. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.